Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Zelos Abyss 3, which is top of the line, a hardcore diver from Zelos with 3000 meters of water resistance. And now it will be a good idea to subscribe to the channel to see more content coming. So let's get on to the review. We're going to be talking about the different versions of this watch, about the dimensions, about the movement accuracy report, and of course we'll be throwing in that amazing lume video. As you can see, I got the bronze black sundial version with the compressor style case, and this was very generously sent by Elshan, the owner of Zelos, so shout out to him. There are two big families. The first style is the compressor style, the one that you see here, with two crowns. The first is the usual crown, and the second one is the helium escape valve that you operate manually. And the second version is the small seconds, with just a crown at 3 o'clock, and a small seconds that is a turbine. So for the different versions, for the compressor style case, you have the black sundial and black ceramic version. You have the midnight blue dial and blue ceramic version, and my favorite, the teal dial with the stainless steel bezel insert. And you have the same colors in bronze. The only thing that changes is that you don't have the teal dial, but you have a hunter green. As for the turbine, you have the stainless steel version in black and midnight blue, and you've got the bronze version in black and midnight blue as well. And you have a special version. You have the meteorite dial with the meteorite bezel, and that comes only with the compressor style case. So as for the dimensions of this watch, Zelos states 43 millimeters in diameter, 51 millimeters log to log. So even though this is a big watch, the log to log makes it a bit more wearable. 22 millimeters in log width, and they state on their site that it's 18.5 millimeters, but without the dome sapphire crystal. So let's measure how much it is with the dome sapphire crystal. And I measured that at a whopping 21 millimeters. But again, this is a hardcore diver. This is top of the line of the Zelos divers. Just to compare it with my 40 millimeters Meiko, you can see that it dwarfs it, but not so much in case diameter, but it dwarfs it all the way in height. So here it is compared to my 42.5 millimeters across SEIKO 5. You can see that it's not much bigger, but it is of course much taller. For a last comparison, let's compare it with the with the behemoth, that is a turtle, almost 45 millimeters across. And you can see that the turtle looks like the bigger watch when you see it on this perspective. The turtle with its 13.2 millimeters in height looks almost like a dress watch. And again, that is normal because this is supposed to be the hardcore diver that it is. I mean, 3000 meters of water resistance. Let's talk about the dial. The dial is, according to Zelos, a fumé dial with a black sand texture. And when you set in the right light, you can see that. So you've got the date at 6 o'clock, which is great for symmetry, of course. And that lume ceramic bezel insert looks very nice as well. Of course, we'll see the lume shot afterwards. I bet it's radioactive. That second hand looks like some kind of ore with a baton attached to it. But it's, let's call that a Nor hand, which is very original. Zelos, and this is why they have such a cult following. They have a very special aesthetic. They're not trying to copy anyone. And so the crystal is a domed sapphire crystal. What about the bezel action? This is 120 click, and it is very precise, and there is absolutely no backplay. Once it gets into position, there's no moving it to the back. And let's move on to the case and to the case finish. And Zelos states that it's a combination of brushed and polished surfaces. And as you can see, there's a chamfer going from the lugs all the way across the watch. And of course, it's the same on the other side. And even though it's harder to tell when you have a bronze watch, the brushing is done in a very refined way, as well as a polishing, which is very good and plays with the light, very nice. And let's see that case back. That case back is of a submarine going to great depths, and the watch weighs in at 192 grams, which is a real heavyweight, especially without a metal bracelet. So the bracelet, it is a rubber bracelet in this version with the vents here to for the sweat to keep you cooler, and it's not too stiff. It is okay, and the nice details that it has a Zelos logo on the holder, and of course the Zelos logo on the buckle, which is of course made also of bronze. How does it wear in my small wrist? I have a 6.5-inch wrist, so that is like a bit over 16.5 centimeters, and you can see that with those curved lugs, it's not bad from this perspective. When you set it to the side, you can see that height, it may make it difficult to wear with sleeves. And here's a moment you've all been waiting for, the lume video. And as it was expected, the lume is amazing on this watch. Even the Rehot now has lume, and even the Zelos logo has lume now. And of course the crowns are lumed as well, both crowns. With the Zelos logo, doesn't focus very well, and more nicely with the helium symbol. And the movement on this watch is the Sellita SW200, which is a clone of the ETA 2824. And this is for the compressor style, and for the turbine they have the SW260, which I believe is a variant of the 220, but just with the small seconds. And let's check the accuracy of this one. And on the dial down position, I'm getting a very respectable from 0 to +2. So the positive aspect of this watch would be, first of all, its ruggedness. I mean, 3,000 meters of water resistance, who needs that? But in any case, it speaks lots about what Zelos can do. Second positive would be the style. This watch, although not for everyone, will please the Zelos fan, as it keeps that same aesthetic. And I must say that I'm a big fan of the compressor style case. And of course, a third point would be all the variations that they give you. Here, I believe it's a first for Zelos. They give you two whole different watches for one, with the turbine dial and with this compressor style case. So, as for the negative points, this watch being a hardcore diver and with those dimensions, even though they're contained, at least on the log-to-log and diameter measures. I believe the height is a bit too high, at least for a day-to-day watch. Another negative aspect of this watch is the weight. At almost 200 grams on a strap, I cannot imagine how much it must weigh on a stainless steel bracelet. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. So there you have it, a beast of a watch, not suitable for every wrist, but I am certain that it will be snatched in no time. So thank you very much for having watched. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel to see more content coming. Don't forget to check my previous videos, I have many of them as well. Thank you very much again, and goodbye. Have a nice evening.